Tell you guys about how my life began. My life began, and I've told the story, haven't I? Okay, forget it. Now, when I see you guys, and I go to high schools, what it does is it reminds me of my time at high school. It particularly reminds me of dating back in high school. Oh yeah. Now, I went to a really wealthy high school, so in order to get a date, you had to have two things. You had to have a car, and you had to have money. I remember this very specifically because I had no car, I had no money, and I said to myself, how am I going to change my situation? But then I got this brilliant idea. I went out and got a job as the school bus driver. Oh yeah, I'm making money, I got my wheels, I'm picking up like 30 girls a day. Woo! Look at me now, ladies. Look at me now. Now, in case you're wondering, South Korean, in case you're wondering. Okay. Now, I'm a rapper too, and there's a very famous South Korean rapper. You may have heard one of his songs. It's called Gangnam Style. Y'all remember that one? Now, when I watched that video, I said to myself, man, there's so much wrong with this video. But the thing that bothers me the most is when some of my friends, some of my white friends, they come up to me, and they're like, hey, Sai, he's your people, man. That's your people, man. How ignorant is that? That's like me going up to them and be like, hey, honey boo boo, that's your people, man. That's your people. Crazy. Now, how many of you guys, raise your hand if you have seen some bad fashion trends recently. Raise your hand if you've seen some bad fashion trends. Bad fashion trends are everywhere. Everywhere. The worst fashion trend I think that is out there is, I don't know if y'all remember this, but when the girls, they got those pants with the writing on the back. Remember that? This is the thing. The girls were always bragging about something negative. It was always something like, I am trouble, or Hellraiser, something like that, right? You know, I wish these girls would brag about something positive for a change. Like, helpful. Polite. Or good reader. Be positive. That's all I'm saying. Be positive. You know what I'm saying? Now let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever been to a place where you didn't know anybody there, you just kind of felt alone? You ever been there? I went to an event recently that happened to me. I went to a speed dating event. Yeah. I don't know, speed dating is when adults get together, they meet for 2 minutes and they figure out if they want to date. I went to a speed dating event. I didn't know anybody there, but the worst part about it was everyone else there was a senior citizen. But it's all good. It's all good because your boy, I came through. I got some numbers. I got some social security numbers. I'm signing that off for life insurance, you know what I'm saying? Now, but seriously, have you ever been to a place where you didn't know anybody? You felt alone. Everyone else knew each other except for you. This happened to me. When I was in 10th grade, my family we moved across town. All the way across town, I'm at this new school. I don't know anybody there. Everybody else seems to know each other. I go to class. Everybody else is having a good time. I'm sitting alone. I go to lunch. I'm sitting by myself, eating my nachos. And I was not happy. All I wanted to do was go back to my old school, go back to my old friends. And at the end of that week, I was sitting there waiting for my ride. And I'm outside, and this young lady comes and she sits next to me. She starts talking to me. Not like super close, don't get it twisted, right? But she comes and sits near me, and she just starts talking to me. She's like, hey, what's your name? She starts talking to me about the things that she's doing, and she's in drama club, and hey, we're having a theater production. You should come through. And I'm like, yeah, definitely, I'll definitely come through. And her ride comes, picks her up, and she leaves. And I know it seems like a really small thing. It seems like something that's not really that big of a deal. But at that time, I felt alone. And all of a sudden I had hope maybe that this school would work out. Hope maybe that this whole situation would work out. And that young lady, what she did is she made a difference in my life. And that's what we're all about, right? We're all about making a difference. Making a difference in the lives of others. Now, everywhere I go, I try to make a difference. Right? How about y'all? Yes? Yay, nay? Right? In order to make a difference, we have to take a stand. What do we take a stand for? We're taking a stand for people. Right? We're taking a stand for positivity, for building people up, and not tearing people down. We're taking a stand for spreading friendship, love, compassion, and against hatred, bullying, and all that other stuff. And everywhere I go, I do this. Just the other day, I'm walking through the park. And I see this teenage kid sitting in a wheelchair all by himself. And I said to myself, that kid needs a motivational speech. So I walk up to him. I grab a stick from the ground. I shove it through his spoke so he can't move. And I start giving him the motivational speech of his life. And I'm speaking these words, these powerful words over him. And he's crying. He's crying. I don't know. Is he crying because I'm inspiring him? Is he crying because I'm hurting him? I don't know. All I know is I made a difference yesterday. Whether for the good or for the bad, I made a difference. You can make a difference. True story, or not. One of the two. Now, but in all seriousness, everywhere I go, I'm trying to make a difference. Everywhere I go, it doesn't matter if I'm at the grocery store, it doesn't matter if I'm getting oil change, it doesn't matter if I'm at the coffee shop, I'm making a difference. I'm lifting people up, I'm making people feel like rock stars. Do you guys want to know some of the Jedi mind tricks that I use? That's not good enough. Do you want to know some of the tricks that I use? All right. One way. Let me ask you a question. What is the sweetest sound to someone's ears? What is the sweetest word that they could ever hear? Babe? Okay, you're done. You're done for today. Someone else. Thank you. Thank you, good. Anybody else? Compliment. Oh, you're ahead of me. I like it though. There you are. Okay. The sweetest noise to someone's ears is their name. Their name. People like when people learn their names. People appreciate that. Learn people's names. Also, another thing you can do is you can give them a compliment. Nice watch. Nice hair. Nice necklace. Make sure they're wearing a necklace though. Right? What else can we do? We can ask them how their day's going. People like that. It starts a conversation. A lot of different things that we can do to help people feel good about themselves. That's what I do. And what ends up happening from that is people love me. People love me. You guys love me? I'm done. But people love me. People, when I go places and I lift people up, they really appreciate that. And I go to Starbucks, they give me free coffee, they give me free food, all this other stuff. I don't really want it, but whatever. But people love me because in this world, what ends up happening is whatever you put out there, that's what you get back. I'm at Starbucks this morning. There's this guy. You guys, you know, when you go to Starbucks, right, what do? You pay for your coffee, you wait in that long line, you pay for your coffee, and then you go to the bar and you wait. Do they have your coffee immediately? No, you have to wait like a minute or two, right? Okay? So it's always an opportunity for me to have a conversation with someone. And so I'm talking to this guy, he's probably about 40 years old. He's there with his mom. We're talking, they're nice people. Mom goes off to the restroom, and I'm thinking to myself, what can I say to lift this guy's spirits? How can I compliment him? And I got something. I said, hey man, your mom is a really nice lady. And he looks at me and goes, that's my wife. I was like, I'm kidding! See you later! That's like the opposite of what you want to do, right? That's the opposite. That didn't actually happen. That was terrible. But building people up, making people feel like rock stars, making people feel like $1 million. That's what we're all about, right? And we're also against bullying, right? This bullying is one of the things that I talk about. I'm very, very passionate about it. Making sure that people are feeling good about themselves by taking a stand for them. Now, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about bullying, but I am going to just have a little piece about it. Now, bullies, they believe that they are putting on a show. Guess who's the audience? You guys, right? They believe they're putting on a show, and you guys are the audience. And in their minds, what they think is, because of the fact that nobody's saying anything, because of the fact that nobody's doing anything, they must approve of what I'm doing. In their mind, they hear applause. And when they start hearing the audience booing, when they hear the audience say something, that's when they change their behavior. That's when they change the way that they do. I've been on both sides of this, and I've seen it happen. This is reality, okay? So, standing up for people. Now, it doesn't take much. It really doesn't. All you have to do is say something like, hey, that's not cool, or hey, stop messing with me. Or hey, don't do that, right? It's very simple, right? But it's very important for us to make sure that people feel good about themselves. Because this is the thing. When people are mistreated, does it just affect them for the moment? No, right? It doesn't affect them for the moment. It affects them for a long term, right? We want to make sure that people feel good about themselves because they're important people in crisis. I really do believe that. I want you guys to really stand up for people. Now, as a guy who goes out here and lives my life, right? I've been on the side where people have said things to me negatively, and I've been on the side of people saying positive things. And the positive things have really made an impact. When I was in high school, at that new high school, I was in 10th grade, and I had this teacher. How many of you guys have a teacher